All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, in spite of the fact that forward Zion Williamson has only appeared in 85 games over the span of 3 seasons with the New Orleans Pelicans, he is still getting paid. The Pelicans have agreed to give the former first overall pick $231 million extension that will keep him in the Bayou through 2028. And now it's time for the big fella to deliver. Now, in Williamson's brief NBA career, he has averaged nearly 26 points per game. As you can see, that the talent is there, but you cannot help your team when you're on the sidelines consistently wearing street clothes. Zion's conditioning has been questioned for a long time, and it's time for him to get serious. And it's dropping weight, and it's also things like getting a nutritionist. And we've seen pictures, videos of him working out, and he looks to be in the best shape of his career. Pros, college, you name it. He looks like, he has trimmed down. He looks like he's more committed. And it's all about him being consistent with that in order to help the Pelicans win basketball games. Because again, talent is there. He can really fill up the stat sheet, as far as a scorer. He's very athletic. We saw that in a brief period with Duke. We saw that, in his brief time that he's played for the Pelicans. And again, you just got to be healthy enough in order to go out there and help your team win games. And for me, it's so important for Zion to be out there, not just me, obviously, the Pelicans or anybody who's a fan of his, because you see, aside from the talent that Zion brings to the table, the Pelicans are one of the more young and exciting teams in the NBA. And I think that was illustrated during this past postseason where they were a problem for the Phoenix Suns in the first round of the playoffs. And it just makes you wonder how much better could this team be if Zion was there? And I mean, you look at the young talent that's there. Aside from Zion Williamson, you're talking about Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones. Really stepped up and showed himself to be a solid role player for this team. Another young role player like Jose Alvarado. But you think about more established players on this team, such as Jonas Valanciunas, CJ McCollum, just to name a few. And at the end of the day, all of the key players for the Pelicans are under contract for the next couple of years. So, with that said, the sky is the limit for this team. Obviously, Zion is a centerpiece, and if he could stay healthy, this team could be a problem for other teams in the Western Conference. So, Zion is still a very young player, and obviously, the talent is there, the future is bright for him. But at the end of the day, the opportunity now is for him to answer the bell, because you don't want to be one of those guys that is just, making a rep just based off of your potential. You have the potential, work on it, craft it, do what you got to do to come out there and be the best player that you can be. And I'll tell you like this, if Zion is truly in shape this year, if Zion is fully committed, look out for him. I think he's going to have a big impact. And I think this team is going to find a way to take that next step. It's going to be important because you figure the Pelicans did make the playoffs last year, obviously. But it's a little bit different when nobody's expecting you to make the playoffs and when the expectations are there for you to make the playoffs. This time around, the expectations are going to be there for the Pelicans to make the playoffs. This time around, now that Zion got paid, you know what? You're gonna have to deliver. So let's see if Zion can stay healthy, live up to his expectations, and if that is the case, the Pelicans will definitely reap the benefits of that. But at the end of the day, it's just simply a big if. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. Want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 pounds of sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.